It's another big name in world football. It's another Champions League winner, Donnarumma, Gianluigi Donnarumma, the PSG keeper, left out of the squad to play Spurs in the Super Cup tomorrow after they signed Lucas Chevalier, who is going to be their new number one from Lille. Could, therefore, Donnarumma come to the Premier League this summer? Chelsea, Manchester United already linked. Some talk today of Manchester City maybe being interested too if Ederson goes. Of those three, Steve, who needs him the most?
I would say Chelsea. I would say if Chelsea get him, then they have got the biggest chance to win the Premier League title in a long time.
He makes that big a difference?
I think so. What he done last season was absolutely incredible. And I think if Chelsea can get him, I think they leaked a lot of goals in last season for playing out from the back. And I've seen Sanchez as well when I was at Brighton, and I always had a question mark on him at Chelsea. I think if they get Donnarumma, it is huge. Huge, especially for the players in front of him, the defenders, the whole squad. They'll look back and it'll go back to like Petr Cech, the days where you always need a strong goalkeeper. You always need a strong goalkeeper. And when he comes through the door, you've got a great chance.
They've got no chance of getting Baleba in this transfer window, have they?
That was your other question, what else they might want to do. So a number 6 and a goalkeeper on the agenda. If I start in reverse order, a goalkeeper would depend on Andre Onana leaving, and there's no sign of that at the moment. So if that doesn't happen, I can't see a reputable goalkeeper arriving. But it is on the recruitment agenda, whether it be now or in the future. And then the number 6 is absolutely essential in their mind. And at the top of that list is Carlos Baleba. And Ruben Amorim is said to be a big fan. Manchester United are exploring that situation. And conversations have been held with Brighton via intermediaries working on their behalf to try and ascertain a number, a price. That hasn't happened so far at the time of recording. Brighton have made clear that they don't intend to sell him, that they would prefer to keep him for at least another year. I don't know of them being under pressure to do so. My colleague on The Athletic, Laurie Whitwell, is reporting alongside me that Baleba is thought to be in favour of the possibility and that personal terms wouldn't be a problem if it ever came to that. Multiple Manchester United players, you can imagine who, given links to him from Lille, Euro, for example, maybe Cameroon internationals who he plays with at Manchester United, I don't know precisely the names, have been in contact with him, explaining the project and talking about the potential move. And many people on both sides don't see this happening, but you could say you've got to be in it to win it. There's no harm in knocking at the door and asking the question. That's what United are doing. If a price comes back and it's too high, I presume it doesn't go further. If it's potentially achievable, maybe they continue to explore it. And one thing that you could say is deserving of credit on Manchester United's part is that there is expected to be a fierce battle for Baleba, whether it be next summer or in the future, with some really big guns coming in for him in the number 6 position. So perhaps Manchester United thought, why not try and get ahead of that, be proactive for once, and not for once, but be proactive and give it a whirl. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, so be it.
They are interested in Carlos Baleba from Brighton and Hove Albion. They like the player a lot. They've explored the conditions of a deal. It is going to be a very, very difficult deal to do for many reasons, not least Brighton have got no intention to sell. They don't want to sell. They're under no pressure to sell. He's still got 3 years left on his contract. They've got an option for a further year, and they would want to charge. I mean, some people have even talked about touching 100 million here.
But on Manchester United, we have one more big story to mention. If you're following me on all the platforms, and also here on YouTube, of course, I told you that Manchester United, after the striker, wanted to try to find a midfielder on the market. And that remains the case, because Manchester United, in the recent hours, have approached the camp of Carlos Baleba, the top midfielder from Brighton, to tell them that they have a serious interest in the player. Now, this deal is very difficult. All people involved in the story see this deal as very difficult because Baleba is a top player for Brighton. Baleba is a crucial player for them. Brighton don't want to lose the player. Brighton want Baleba to stay and to be a crucial part of Fabian Hutzler's squad for the upcoming season. And also to sign a player from Brighton with almost 20, 23, 24 days to go till the end of the window is not something easy. The price will be very high, so very complicated deal. But my job is to tell you what's going on, what's happening, and not what's going to happen, because I can't predict the future. And so now what's happening is that Manchester United approached the camp of Carlos Baleba and told them about this interest. More on this. Brighton don't want to lose the player, so it's going to be very tough, very difficult. More than difficult, probably. At the same time, from player side, they didn't receive a no. So Baleba didn't say, no, I don't come to Man United because you don't have European football, because of this, because of that. No. Carlos Baleba didn't close the doors to Manchester United. They are aware, from those close to Carlos Baleba, that Brighton don't want to lose the player. So it's going to be very difficult. Again, very, very difficult. But Baleba didn't close the doors to Manchester United, from what I understand tonight. So Man United interest in Carlos Baleba is genuine. The approach is 100% confirmed. Now, with Brighton, we all know how difficult it is to negotiate. Imagine, in a few days, the Premier League will start, and so it's going to be even more difficult. And also, at the moment, is seen by all parties as a complicated deal. But it's showing the ambition of Man United. After Mateus Cunha, after Brian Mbeumo, and soon Benjamin Sesko, they want an important midfielder, and they are trying for Carlos Baleba. So Manchester United are going for a midfielder. Baleba is their dream target. I can add to this that probably you remember, if you're following the channel, subscribe, remember, that when I told you in November, Ruben Amorim is coming to Manchester United, they are having the first meetings with the people at the club. In those first meetings, when Amorim started to set his idea for the players he wanted to sign for the future, it was not about specific names at the time, obviously, but specific skills, yes. The word he was repeating the most in these meetings with Manchester United management was intensity. We need to bring in players with intensity. And Carlos Baleba is seen as the perfect player by Ruben Amorim for his midfield. Then, again, difficult, very difficult, but today we mentioned this. We will see what's going to happen next. But on player side, he didn't close the doors. Then, with Brighton, it's going to be a very long, high wall, and so not easy at all.
We reported Manchester United's interest in the Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba. Let's just bring you a Brighton perspective on that, because the chief executive, Paul Barber, has been speaking at a fans event this evening and has said that United haven't been in touch with him over the midfielder. He said there's always going to be interest in our players. Manchester United have not been in touch with me. Speculation is speculation. Carlos is a fantastic talent. We hope he'll be here for years to come, but it's subject to the dynamics of the football world, which isn't always predictable. Much more on that and all the day's transfer news available on the app and on skysports.com.